Okay, good morning guys. I just thought I would take this opportunity to shoot a quick little vlog with you and give you some insight into what's going on with me at the moment. So at the moment I'm in Taiwan and this is my morning routine at the moment. Try to get up around 5 o'clock. I got up later today because I was in Taipei yesterday. So try to get up around 5. I have a black coffee and then I'll fast until around 11 o'clock. So I try to do 17 to 18 hours on just black coffee and water, and that helps me burn a bit of body fat. So I highly recommend fasting, although if you do have very high anxiety, sometimes fasting can spike your cortisol, so it's not always the best. Right now I am on the coast in Taiwan in a small surfing town, and I'm doing some work from here. And I'll give you a little look at the ocean, which is just outside my window. As you can see, I'm living right on the ocean at the moment. Nice bit of surf behind me today, and it's a pretty nice spot. This is the running track which I like to go on. So yeah, just some basic pointers about a morning routine which works well for me, because I was speaking to a coaching client the other day and we were talking about exercise. I still can't emphasize enough the importance of exercise for mental health, and I know it's quite difficult to get out and do cardio and that kind of stuff, but I just highly recommend it. For me, the things that have made the biggest impact on my mental health and overall well-being in recent years have been a lot of stretching, a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, and recently a lot of cardio. And in with that as well, I would add calisthenics, just simple bodyweight exercises, bodyweight squats, lunges, push-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, dips. You don't need anything fancy. There's so many complicated exercise systems out there, and my overall ethos for overcoming social anxiety is basically boiling more and more down to this concept of returning to nature. We inherently are anxiety free when we're born, although we may have proclivities and propensities towards anxiety and so on in our genetic makeup. I understand all of that, but I do believe that generally we have all of the inherent capacities that we need for a successful, functional and healthy life. So I think there's a lot to be said for returning to nature, trying to get my diet as basic as possible back to predominantly vegan diet. I know that's going to ruffle feathers with some people watching. Not everyone wants to eat vegan. It doesn't work for everyone. So anything that I'm saying here is just what I found that works for me. Please take from it what you will if you find any of it useful. So I try and eat a clean basic diet, lots of vegetables, lots of tofu, lots of protein, high protein, low carb, low sugar. At the moment I'm walking around in bare feet as well. Try and do a lot of barefoot walking. I find this just makes me feel way more connected with the earth. There's also some scientific research that suggests that walking around barefoot can be good for anxiety. I've certainly found that to be true. I really enjoy it. It makes me feel good. I go barefoot running. It's good for the tendons in my feet. It makes my ankles stronger. So I enjoy doing that. And back to the point that I was talking about exercise and stuff. One very good coach talked to me about it in terms of a triangle, 3 sides of the triangle being strength, flexibility and fitness. And that's what I try to work on. So my cardio, my yoga and stretching and mobility, and also my strength, which I get from bodyweight exercises like calisthenic stuff. So if you're looking for a place to start on a regime, I would highly recommend that. Start out small with small goals, try and jog for 5 minutes every day and build up from there. It's also worthwhile to bear in mind the triangle of strength, fitness and flexibility. Right there in my morning routine, there's fasting, there's some basic stretching exercises which I do when I wake up, mainly while I'm waiting for my coffee to brew, and then I'll get outside like this morning, go for a run, go for a walk to the coast. I know not everyone lives on the coast, but most people have access to getting outdoors, so I try and get outside, get some sunlight exposure, which Andrew Huberman talks about, get some of this fresh oxygen which is coming off the plants, and this just basically sets my mind and body up for a positive day. Get outside, get sunlight, get some exercise. Not everybody wants to exercise in the morning, but for me, I found that it is much more beneficial, sets me up well for the day. So I would highly recommend that. And all of this stuff, I would say, just really helps with anxiety. I'm 42 now. I struggled so much for all of my life basically, and I can hand on heart say I live a life where I'm basically happy. I feel happy a lot of the time. The stuff that used to go on in my head doesn't go on in my head anymore. I don't have to consider all these crazy convoluted things before I make a decision to do something. I live from a place of just doing things because I want to do it. I don't have to take into account all my fears and my worries and live according to them. So that's a really nice place to be, and I feel that a massive part of that has been meditation and also the stretching, because that gives me the comfort in my body as well. Like, I just feel really good. Like right now my feet are connecting with the floor, my body's fairly limber and fairly comfortable, so I feel really good in my body. And that was a big part of my battle. I was so uncomfortable in my own body. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't comfortable with who I was, just uncomfortable generally. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you can relate to that. So for me, I really recommend a lot of stretching. That has helped me so much. It's been suggested that it actually has a very relaxing effect and so on. It's not just the physical sensation of feeling good from having loose limbs. It's also been studied and looks like from the research that stuff like yoga and flexibility and mobility also just actually has a very stress relieving effect. So I really recommend that. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to show you today. Just keep up to date with you guys, give you a quick insight into my morning routines, what I'm doing these days. If you've got any questions, any problems, please feel free to hit me up in the comments. Please like and subscribe to the channel, because it's really going to help us to help more people. I'm committed to raising more awareness about social anxiety, because it's just really not understood properly. So please support the channel and help me to help more people who are struggling with social anxiety. All right, thank you for now. Peace. See you later.